All right, so let's talk about some of the advantages to a setting up what we call a solo 401k versus a SEP IRA or a simple IRA if you're self-employed. First of all, a solo 401k really works if you're a business owner that doesn't have employees. Okay, um, I'll kind of highlight what some of these things are. The biggest thing you have to remember is it needs to be set up in 2017 if you want to take advantage of it for 2017. Okay. Or again, if it's 2018 and you want to make contributions to it to reduce your taxes for 2018, it needs to be set up in the year that you want to obviously utilize it for. Okay, so some big things here you can kind of see already. One, you can contribute up to $54,000 per year. Those are the current 2017 limits. That's $108,000 per couple. If you're over 50 years old, you can contribute up to $60,000 a piece, so $120,000 potentially as a couple. So the contribution limits are much higher in a solo 401k. Okay, I think one of the biggest advantages to the way we set these up is we don't do it with a custodian. A custodian would be like sending the money to TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab or AG Edwards or Edward Jones. Edward Jones uses American funds, but you're in control of what happens. So what we set up is we actually set up a bank account. You'll set up a bank account at your local bank. That's where all the contributions go to. You have checkbook control, meaning you want to make an investment, you can literally write a check and make that investment. So you're in total control. And the thing I love being a financial advisor is the client, you have the power to invest in things that you understand, okay? Which I think is the biggest thing that people don't realize when they're investing is most of the time they're putting money in places where they don't even understand the investment. They don't understand the risk, the downside. They don't even understand the upside. They just hope that there is some upside and obviously their investment increases in value. So my biggest thing about setting up a self-directed solo 401k is that we'll do it and keep you in control to do it. So you can invest in real estate. You want to buy and sell cars, you can do that. A lot of different options as to what you could do. Now, if you have a current financial advisor and you say, hey, I want to set up this self-directed solo 401k, they're going to say, hey, you can't do it. If they're a traditional advisor, like 99.99% of all the advisors out there. And it's not that because they work for Nationwide or Charles Schwab or Edward Jones or whatever that it can't be done. It's that their company doesn't allow them to do it because they want to put you in mutual funds. Okay, so the biggest thing, again, we help people with is we set up these self-directed solo 401ks so that you're in control. The last point I'm going to hit on is you can borrow from a solo 401k. You can borrow up to 50% of the balance or up to $50,000. So as a couple, you could borrow up to $100,000. So you have a lot of options when it comes to, having essentially some liquidity in a 401k, non-traditional liquidity. So, you want to put a down payment on a house or whatever, you can do that. And you have some mobility and some options inside of a solo 401k. Now, maybe you have employees and you need to set up like a safe harbor 401k. We'll show you how you can even set up 401k plans if you have employees where you can still self-direct your money and invest in things like real estate. Okay, it's possible. We do it all the time. Okay, but the biggest thing is it needs to be set up in 2017 so that you can get the benefit for it in 2017. You don't want to wait until February or March of next year when your accountant says, hey, you're going to owe $10,000 this year. By the way, if you'd have set up this solo K and put some money into it, that money could stay in your hands instead of going to the IRS. And that's one of the biggest advantages to setting up the solo 401k is one, the deduction. So you have some mobility in terms of reducing your taxes. And then the second is we set it up in a self-directed fashion so that you're always in control and you call the shots for your retirement. So big fan of that. Listen, been in this business for 12 years or so. I got started with the traditional companies offering stocks, bonds, mutual funds. And I'll tell you, the guy who's helping you, he doesn't even have a clue how they work. And so there's some power in you taking the reins in control and knowing what it is that you're doing with your money. So, anyways, any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Love to help you answer any questions and make sure that 2017 you have all the options available to you and your family to keep the IRS out of your pocket.